talk about column chromatography, how it's used, and how it's ran. So this is actually going to be a mix of just kind of concept like in lecture and then exactly how you run it, a little bit like you might see in lab. Now I'm going to be straight up with you. Column chromatography, especially if you're running this by hand, is long, it is painful, you can mess it up and ruin hours of work, and it might even make you cry. But it's a rite of passage in organic chemistry, and organic chemistry demands your pain and your tears. So you're going to have to deal with it. So what it is, you have a big column here that has a little like nozzle at the bottom that lets out liquid. If you're lucky, you have a fritted column built in. If you're not lucky, you're going to have to put some cotton balls at the bottom and pack it with sand. And then what you have is you have a mobile phase and a stationary phase. Stationary phase is a bunch of silica gel you have packed in here, and that's just going to stay put. It's the stationary phase. Your mobile phase is your solvent that you're going to be eluting through it, that's going to be pulling your things out, okay? So now say we want to separate these two molecules right here. They look roughly the same, but one is an acid, one's an ester. Say we hydrolyzed this ester, but we still have some starting product left over. We want to separate them. So silica gel is polar, and that's our stationary phase. So this more polar molecule is going to interact more with our silica gel, where this is not. It's going to flow through the column better. So what we're going to use our eluting solvent, which is our stationary phase, our mobile phase, and that's going to be some sort of solvent that we have tuned with the right polarity to pull it through, where this comes out a little slower, but this comes out faster. And what you're going to do is just take fractions in little vials, a million fractions, not really a million, but I have run a column where I had to take literally 98 fractions. And you're just going to take these fractions, fill them up, like, depending on how sensitive this is, a couple mils, maybe you can get away with 10 mils. And then you're going to TLC all these individually until on your TLC you see this ester. Ester is probably going to be up here. And you're going, okay, I'm just getting ester. Then eventually you're going to see maybe 2 spots. Your acid down here, and then I'll come over here, and then eventually what you see is maybe just your acid, and then you're going to collect fractions so you don't see that acid anymore, and that will be, and then you're going to combine all those fractions, rotovap them down, and collect your acid. How you see things on TLC we'll get into another video, but that is just a crash course on how column chromatography works. When you run these in real life, the concept is relatively easy to understand, but in real life it's much harder, and as I said, it's painful and it takes sometimes hours